What's going on, guys? Last week I saw Bob Dylan in Bournemouth and I had a little talk about it after the vlog. So if you want to see that, check it out. It's on like 500 views at the moment. I don't know what side it's on. One of these, it's going to pop up now. And after the vlog, I sort of just talked about it a little bit and I've decided to expand on that a little bit and make my own video just on, is it really worth seeing Bob Dylan in 2024? Now, first of all, there's a few things I've got to say about the seating, about the prices, about the venue that's completely out of Bob Dylan's control. It's got nothing to do with him. It's, 10 people away from being in contact with Bob Dylan. And that's the price being £102 for what is no support, and the entire show from doors opening till Bob Dylan's off stage was 4 hours, which is a lot. 4 hours is a lot of time. Not when there's no support band, and Dylan's set was an hour and 45. So really of stage time, you're getting 7:30 till 9:15, I think it was, which is fine. 4 hours in a venue is, if anything, not that much time. If you've got support bands, you've got merch stands, you've got, bars, you've got all that, but you can't really do anything because when your phone is locked up in a pouch, not even before you get into the music hall, but the second you walk through the front door. So you can't take photos of even inside, unless you've got a card with you, which I did. You can't buy beer, you can't buy drinks, you can't buy merch because your phone is locked. You can go to people and get it opened, but it is just a bit of a pain. The venue that we saw him at is the Bournemouth International Centre, which is right in the shithole of Bournemouth. It's, it was awful. It was really, really bad. The seats were like secondary school fold-up metal chairs that were clamped to the floor. The venue was like a lecture hall from Brighton. When it came to the sound, I thought it was good. The backing band, the real band that was on stage, they were great. Every single song, was clear. There was no messing about. Obviously, it's Bob Dylan. He's going to have the best fucking musicians about. And they were really tight. They were really, really good. It wasn't too loud, which obviously you don't really want to be wearing earplugs for a Bob Dylan gig, but it wasn't too loud. It also wasn't too quiet. Sound-wise, good. I don't know if that was the venue being good for sound or it's just because it's Bob fucking Dylan, so the sound's going to be good. The set list is a talking point for basically every single person that's seen Bob Dylan in the last 6 years, especially on the Rough and Rowdy tour, where I think there was 9 songs from the Rough and Rowdy album, which is fair. You're touring an album, you're going to play songs from that album. It's fine, you're not going to be able to fit in 50 years of back catalogue music. The songs that anyone really cared about, so we've got It Ain't Me, Babe, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, All Along the Watchtower, Every Grain of Sand, I suppose, as the closer. I suppose that's now considered a Bob Dylan classic, only for the reason that it's one of 5 songs that he plays that you actually fucking know. I do normally go out, listen to the set list before. That's one thing about gigs that I do that a lot of people don't. Some people want to be surprised. Some people just want to go in and see what's played. If they're on a tour, every set list is going to be the same for whatever city they're in. I go, I listen. I'm not the biggest Bob Dylan fan in the last 5 years. I think, his Rough and Rowdy Ways is just a boring album. He obviously you can't write about the same stuff when you're 85 to when you're 15. It's not like he's going to be talking about being a working class boy in fucking shithole of America. You're now an 85-year-old that probably lives in like LA, 6 butlers and 3 wives. You can't write about the same shit. One thing that I saw a couple of comments I had on that vlog, which sort of agree with me in terms of it. He doesn't sing them, he talks them, and this is something that we've all seen all over the internet for the last 6 years, as I said, is that he doesn't sing how he used to. He doesn't it doesn't feel like he gives it his all every time he's on stage. He doesn't address the crowd apart from a brief thank you. Probably didn't know where he was. But that's not something that I really want to focus on, because at the end of the day, he's 85 or whatever, I don't know. I've made up this age that apparently he is now. He's obviously not going to be able to sing songs from the 60s that he probably written in the 50s and still have the same either love about them, the feeling, because he was singing them for a solid 40 years. He's not going to care that much to give the crowd what they want when he doesn't inside want to sing it. He's not going to, at the end of the day, you're the artist, you sing what you want to sing, so it's not like I can judge him on that. And maybe this whole Scooby-Doo way of singing for Bob Dylan now is just to change up the song so he doesn't kill himself on stage because of boredom. Because the Rough and Rowdy Ways album isn't like that. It's not the Scooby-Doo repetitive drog that you hear live. It has got essence of folk and country and sort of rock and roll little bits in it. It's not what you hear on stage. I think just when he gets up there, he's like, you know, you came to see me, have some of that. That's probably deep inside covering up the fact that he can't sing how he used to. So I'm not going to judge him on that. At the end of the day, he's the artist, he's the guy on stage, he's the guy with the band and the sheets. He can fucking sing it how he wants to. It's just a shame that he sings it like shit. Which is a bit far, honestly. There were bits where he does burst into normal singing and you're like, it's fucking Bob Dylan, it really is. It Ain't Me, Babe, All Along the Watchtower, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. Literally, the songs where you want him to sing, the verses are and all that. There were the odd, you know, the one chorus in the song. The other one he fucks up like he normally does, but there's one where he belts out a bit of actual Bob Dylan singing, and you're like, that is beautiful. There were bits, I won't lie, where I was looking around the crowd and I was like, this ain't really what it should be. You know, there were bits where he would go into the Watchtower, and you're like looking around going, oh, it's not great, is it? But then there were times where I'm looking around and being like, every single person in Bournemouth International Centre is seeing this guy, and it's Bob Dylan, and it's great, and I'm here, I'm living it. And then you go right back to it. So it was a mix of emotions really during the entire set. Is like I'd keep going from, oh my God, he's giving it a bit, and you're seeing that he actually cares, to, oh, he probably doesn't even know he's on stage right now. The one defense that a lot of people have is it's Bob Dylan. And I've sort of went into that a little bit in this video where it's Bob Dylan. It's Bob Dylan. He can sing how he wants. It's Bob Dylan. And I don't think you should give the artist the idea of it doesn't matter how he sings or what music he puts out or what set list he sings, because at the end of the day, you're paying money. You want to see Rolling Stone. You know, it's sort of, you're seeing Bob Dylan, you want to see the songs that made him, or the songs that he made, but the songs that propelled him to the next level. You want to see them songs. The fact that he doesn't sing them, maybe it's just because in the last 10 years, he can't sing him how he used to, and he doesn't want to give people the impression of them walking away and being like, that song has really, really been damaged because the guy fell over 3 times, threw up on the mic, dropped it, and didn't sing any of the words correctly. But at the same time, I don't think it should be the idea of it's Bob Dylan, he can do what he wants. I did use that sort of 2 days after the gig, you know, constantly being like, we saw Bob Dylan, which I've seen Bob Dylan. That's pretty fucking cool. But would have been better if he decided to play it up a little bit. But you know what? That's the thing that I keep saying. And I'm even having the conversation in my head right now of it's Bob Dylan versus is it Bob Dylan? Where it's Bob Dylan, do you know what I mean? It was a great gig. It was a great experience. Showing about Bob Dylan and how he is at the moment. We don't know, you know, is he going to come out of it? Because there are some clips you look on YouTube, and when he does sing songs, he can still give it a bit. Maybe it's he can only give it for 60 seconds in an hour and a half set, which is fair enough. You're not going to come out and say that you passed it. But it would be nice if in a beautiful make-believe world, he came back. I'm not saying with the greatest hits tour, at least sing the songs the way you intended them to be sung. Last thing on here is, would I see him again? I wouldn't see him again on the Rough and Rowdy Ways. I missed him 2 years ago when he came to England. He played, I believe, the London Palladium. And I was going to get tickets. That is when I was at the height of my Bob Dylan jizzing. Absolutely loved him. For whatever reason, I went away somewhere, travelled fucking probably like 2 minutes down the street, and ended up not going to Bob Dylan. And I was heartbroken for 2 years until it was like 3 months ago that they announced he was going to come back. And 3 months later, you've already seen him. You've already almost forgotten about it. And you're talking about it in the past tense. And that one 2 years ago was also on the Rough and Rowdy Ways tour. I think, if I remember correctly, even then, the set list did not have It Ain't Me, Babe. And I don't think it had All Along the Watchtower. Don't quote me on that, but I don't remember being as shocked when I looked at the set list and been like, okay, he is actually doing a couple of popular songs. What that leads me on to is that I wouldn't see him again on this tour. I don't think I'd see him on the next tour if it was for an album. The only way I would go if it was not on a tour, but it was on a one-off show, maybe like a farewell show or something where it is just a standalone gig. He hasn't got a gig 2 days before or a gig a day before, and you know, he just came off a week of tour in Brazil or some shit. The only way I'd see him if it's a standalone gig, it's like Royal Albert Hall, where, you know, he's just travelled over to do that, where I think it'll be a bit more personal, be a bit more like he's actually there and he's not just on a tour ticking off boxes. And we can hope on this make-believe London Palladium gig in 2026 that he fucking plays some popular songs. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, give your thoughts if you're seeing him on this tour. Enjoy. It's Bob Dylan. He's great. You'll walk away being like, I have seen Bob Dylan. In the back of your mind, there will be a little, was that as good as I thought it was going to be? Subscribe, like, comment if you're going, if you have went, thoughts on the video, even if you're not going or haven't went. It's the first video that was on this channel that's a bit just sit down talky. I did a bit at the end of my last vlog, but apart from that, I don't really do this. So it's something I want to try out just because I don't vlog every single gig that we go to. I've vlogged just sort of monumental or funny ones or something that was a bit interesting. I'm going to see Nick Cave tomorrow at the O2. I'm not going to vlog that because that's simply just finishing work at 6, getting the train at 6:30 and fucking off to the O2. That's nothing special. So I do want to fill the void with videos where I'm just talking about the gigs that I've been to. Maybe I might do best gigs of 2024. Might go to some gigs that I went to 5 years ago and talk about them if there was something really special. Thanks for watching. Don't know if you made it this far. It's fucking quite a long video actually. And hopefully I'll see you next time. See you later.